Right, next up on my Steam library, I'm playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Kingdom Come Deliverance is a medieval RPG set in the 15th century Bohemia, the old Holy Roman Empire, which is like modern day Czech Republic, a bit of Poland, Hungary, I think, that sort of area of Europe. I'm going to show you this like from live gameplay. I finished the game, so I'm going to load in a little bit before the last part of the game where it actually ends, but this will be a save before the very final part of the game, and I won't show you any spoilers or anything like that. I'll just load in and show you the what the game looks like, what the what your inventory looks like, and talk about it from there. Let's get out of the way first. It is a little bit buggy, or a lot buggy, depending on how unlucky you are. I didn't come across anything too bad, nothing massively game breaking. There were no quests I couldn't complete because of a bug. There was always a way round it, like a load you could do, or wait in or something. There are also like the odd graphics glitch and that kind of thing as well, but like I say, nothing massively game breaking. It is very graphics intensive though. You'll see I have the frame rate displayed in the top left corner there, and it's you know, it won't get much over 40-45 for most of the time I'm playing it, and that's with the settings on medium. So, and I have a 980 NVIDIA GTX 980 graphics card, but my CPU is an old i7, like an i7 950, so a good 5 years old, 5-6 years old CPU. So CPU is definitely the bottleneck, but even on medium settings it looks really nice. And you know, a game like this, 30 to 40 FPS isn't great, but it's not a particularly fast-paced game. Like it's not a twitchy where you have to quickly aim, and you know, where drop frames are going to cost you getting shot or anything like that, like an FPS would be. Like, yeah, 40 frames I would find pretty unacceptable in a first-person shooter, but a game like this, it's easily playable. You'll see there's some like texture pop as well, where as it loads in. Once these have loaded in, they kind of come up a lot quicker the next time round. You see the church roof there coming in. Anyway, that's the sort of technical side of it. So if you haven't got a pretty decent PC, you might not even want to bother with this to start with. And if you have got something reasonably decent, then you'll be able to find a happy medium between quality and frame rate. So this is the market square of one of the main towns. You play a set character, Henry, his name is. You begin with him at the start of the game and play him all the way through. He is a simple village boy to start with, and as the story progresses, he becomes not such a simple village boy. As I say, I won't give away any spoilers. The progression system is slow. The whole game is slow. It's a slow game. I'll say that. And if you play it for any length of time, you will end knowing a hell of a lot more about 15th century Europe than you started. It's basically one huge history lesson. Anything you read about this game online will rave about its historical accuracy and its attention to detail. It is definitely the most historically authentic and accurate and detailed medieval role-playing game I've ever seen, probably that there has ever been, and as such it is totally set in the real world, more or less. There's no magic, there are no fantasy creatures or anything like that. The only sort of way it airs into magic is by the odd potion you can drink to increase your stats and stuff like that. The alchemy side of things, but really not very supernatural at all. The combat system tries to be more simulation than anything else you've ever seen either. I'll show a bit of combat later so we can get the look of it, but the combat system tries to be much more of a simulated melee combat system than just a simple hack and slash. But I'll show you the map. It's not a huge game world, but it's fairly large. It's large enough for the story it tells anyway. The story is contained within this game world. But I say it's not massive. You start off in here, this village, Skalitz, that's where you're from, that's your hometown, and eventually you end up, covering much of the world. This here, Rattay, is kind of the biggest town, apart from Sasau, that's a fairly big town here as well. But Rattay is a town you come to quite early on. You get a lodging here, a bed of your own that you can permanently sleep in. You can see all these icons represent the different vendors: armorsmiths, swordsmiths, blacksmiths, tailors, alchemists, scribes, general vendors, different food vendors, because food is a thing. You need to eat. Your nourishment value goes down, and as your nourishment goes down, your abilities will suffer if it goes too low. So yeah, you need to eat. Overeating also is bad as well, because your nourishment, if you eat too much, your max stamina goes down. Sleep as well is another thing. Your energy goes down the longer you go without sleep, and if you go too long without sleep, you can have detrimental effects as well. There's fast travel points. All these blue points here are fast travel points you can travel between, and you do get a horse fairly soon, and you can buy better horses, faster horses, more stamina as the game progresses. So that's the world map. It's unlike other RPGs like Skyrim, say, there's not much to find out in the world that you don't get sent to as a quest or as an objective. Like, there's no random dungeons or anything like that, like there is in Skyrim. Like you'd find. At most, you might find like a camp of bandits, or you might get attacked on the road, something like that. But there's no like random dungeons and things like that dotted around to find. So it's it is open, but it's fairly linear in the only places you'll be going really are places you're directed to via the different quests. And there are lots of quests, main quests, side quests, little activities and things like that, but there's not a great deal of point in just setting out and exploring in a general direction, because there's not really anything to find that you won't be shown, you won't be told to go to. Like, all these towns eventually you're told to go to as part of a quest. Most of the areas of the countryside, bits in the areas of the forest and that, you'll end, like this area here is a quest. I've got to go and kill a bandit camp. We'll probably do that. I should show you the combat. Kill a camp leader there. That's not much of a spoiler, because that's a fairly recurring quest that you get given from different quest givers as you go up the levels. I'll show you the inventory. This is Henry. Obviously, to start off with, you've got jack shit in the way of armor, but the way you dress yourself is quite interesting. It's again very historically authentic. You've got like an underlayer, which is like your shirt, and Then you've got a chainmail layer. Then you've got a plate mail layer. And then you've got an outer garment layer. All of this adds to your armor. It can be like light or heavy armor depending on how you feel. Then you've got your gloves and your arm armor, which could be pauldrons or shoulder pads. And on your legs you've got something similar. You've got your hose, like your undergarment layer. You've got a chainmail layer. And here you've got a leg plate and boot layer. Now from what I'm wearing, they're the same thing, because I'm wearing these plate which are leg and boot all in one, or you can have separate leg plate and separate boots depending on what you have. Then weapons, I've got a sword and a shield and a bow, and then you've got a ring which is like non-magical, just for decoration, and some spurs. Head layer, you've got a coif you can have, and then a mail layer, and then a helmet layer, and your necklace, again totally non-magical, just for show. And they make a difference because people react at different ways according to your stats here. If you have like these like necklaces, the spurs, the ring, they add to your charisma, and the more charisma you've got, people react to you better. The better clothes you're wearing, people will think you're like richer or more well-to-do, more of a nobleman. When you're dressed like this, like people would dress me as Sir Knight when they see me, you know, whereas if I'm just dressed in scraffy, light armor, they'll just think I'm some vagabond. And if I'm dressed in like nobleman's kind of gear, they think they say, oh, they dress me as my lord and stuff, even though I'm not. But yeah, everything you put on adds to your head, body, arm and leg armor values, so it's very easy to see if something is going to improve or make it worse. So yeah, if I wear this Blackpool Point instead of that, it's going to make those figures worse. Weapons, today I'm using a longsword and a shield. There are basically long swords, short swords, axes, and maces. If I'll show you the stats, you have your main level stats, which you get points every not every level, but every, I can't remember now how often you get the points, but you get a perk point every so often, which you can invest in various different things as you go up your main level, and that's kind of a repeated in all the different strength, agility. See, I've got a point here to invest in vitality. So you can pick something. Here's a good one. This means you can eat food that's gone off. So that's the way the leveling works. Every so often, every fourth level up for agility, for example, you get a perk point. And same for each of these. Combat stats are the same. You have defense, various different perks. Warfare, again, various different perks. Axe, mace, sword, unarmed, and bow. I've used mainly sword. You can see my sword level is 19. Axe and mace are both really low. Bow's really low. Really, I haven't been using bow for combat. Just been using bow for hunting, and I find you really have to grind bow to get it up. But there's no perk points with bow. You just get kind of better with it the higher the level you get. And there's a few other different skills as well. Very like different skills you see here: alchemy, hunting, lockpicking, important, good to practice that. Pickpocketing, stealth. Not that you are like a rogue in the fantasy sense, but you definitely want to be practicing lockpicking as much as possible. And horsemanship, the more you ride your horse, the more your horsemanship level goes up. That's how it's done. The more you use them, the more they go up, the easier it becomes. And all of these have perk points every so often to make it easier as well. So that's pretty much it for the leveling. Like I said, the leveling is slow, and it's not a major event when you level. Really, you just get slightly better at something. You definitely find things get easier. You know, lockpicks get easier to lockpick. You'll find you're doing more damage and defending more with your sword. Here we have your food and various different potions. And let's say some food goes off, some food doesn't. Here we see you have your nourishment stats. So I'm at 86 nourishment now. So if I ate these cracklings, they would give me 13 nourishment. So I eat them. Up to 99. And if you go over 100, that's when you've overeaten, and that's when you'll get the slight debuff for overeating. Quest log. Without showing you too much, basically this is where you can pick your quests, little description, and where it's going to be, and you can track them by pressing E on each one, and that means they will show up on your compass when you're out in the world. So I guess let's show you a bit of combat. I'll fast travel. I'll cut it here and load back in when we're at the bandits camp. So I'm fast traveling, and there's attack on the road. So you can run away at 50% chance, or you can halt and fight. So I'll stop and fight.
Your money or your life?
Sometimes these are quite mincy little bandits, especially like at the stage I'm at now in the game. So this could be a really easy fight. Yeah, look at him. He's So get my sword out. See, you can see a bit of the combat.
Shit yourself?
Is that all you've got?
Yeah, these are mincers. So that's a block, like a time block. That's a stab. So you can see the red is where you're holding your sword, right? Up, left, right, down, left, down, right. So you do a perfect block when the green shield comes up. And like you've got the left click is a slash. So you slash in the direction you're gonna hold the sword. And right click is a stab like that. So we'll see more of that when I fight the bandits, because they'll be a lot tougher. So then if I put my sword away, because the helmet I'm wearing has got like a visor, the visor goes up, and there we go. And you can loot, you know, grab what sometimes they've got these guys have, well, he's got something worth a 350 gold goblet, so that's worth having. A little blacksmith's kit and do some repairs. That's like a health potion, that marigold decoction that restores your health after a minute or so, and that groschen is your currency. So as you first start, you usually pick up everything you can just to sell. I'm at the stage now where I only pick up pretty expensive stuff, like anything over sort of 250, 300 groschen, or anything I can use straight away, like armor kits you can use straight away. Just to any damage you've taken, you can repair. And that's a leveling thing as well, repairing your armor and weapons. That's something that levels up the more you do it. But that was like a random encounter while I was fast traveling. You can see I didn't quite get all the way, but if I fast travel the rest of the way there, I'll let you see it. So if time still ticks on, your energy and nourishment go down as time ticks on. So energy is replaced by sleeping, nourishment is replaced by eating. So now we're here, and we will ride the rest of the way to the bandit camp.
Greetings, Henry.
Another thing is the load times. There's quite frequent loads, and some of them are a little bit lengthy. It's just something you have to put up with, I guess. This isn't installed on an SSD, so that would make it quicker if you've got it installed on an SSD. So you can whistle for your horse anytime it turns up. This is my horse, Albarak, a really fast Arabian thoroughbred. So your horse has got like 3 speeds. It's got like a walk, like a gallop, or a canter, I guess you'd call it, and then the full gallop. Now, depending on your horse's stats, the green bar you can see at the bottom there is a horse's stamina. The horse's stamina only goes down while you're galloping at this speed. If you're just cantering, it doesn't go down. Your stamina also goes down while you're riding because it's tiring for you as well. But the better your horse, the faster it will go, and the more stamina it will have. There are also other stats like its capacity, how much it can carry. I'm going to sort of head straight through the forest here. Sometimes you have to wind your way through the forest because your horse doesn't like going through some of these bushes. I'm going to need to find a way over the river as well, so perhaps going straight through the forest wasn't the best idea. I think there's a little crossing down there. Yeah, so the horse has got different stats as well. You can buy stuff for your horse too. You can buy saddles, bridles, horseshoes, and armor as well. You can fight from being mounted as well. You can get your sword or your bow out to fight from a mounted position. But I never really bothered. I always got off my horse to fight. And yeah, your horse has different stats as to how much it will shy away in combat. But the more you ride, the more your horsemanship level goes up, and the more control you have over the horse. Right, so we're in the area now where the bandit camp's going to be. Gonna get off and gonna save the game here. It's always good to save. Now, saving out in the open will cost you one of these savior schnapps. These are potions that you can find and buy. They are a limited resource. You can't just save willy-nilly. I've got about 15 of them, I think. So I'm gonna save now, just because I know I'm coming up to some combat, and sometimes these bandits can be a little tough if you get overwhelmed. If they there's usually like 4 or 5 of them, and if they sort of do mob you, it's very difficult to fight outnumbered in this combat system. You really want to try and just keep it to 2, maybe 3 at a time, and try and dispatch as quickly as possible. Like, try and pick the weaker looking ones. Like, if there's one that there's the camp. You can see they're over there. Right, so there's one walking. I'm going to try and get a shot on him with a bow first. And hopefully just he comes.
Who's there? What's that?
Now the archery, the aiming with the bow is very difficult because you don't get a crosshair. Right, so I think I missed both of those. Okay, now when you're in combat, your stamina is life. Stamina is what it takes.
Raise the alarm! Watch
Stamina
out!
is what it takes to block. Stamina is what it takes to swing. If you're out of stamina, you can't block, and you get hit and you take damage. So you never want to lose all your stamina. So
no more fooling around.
You kind of just got to pick what way you want. He'll do blocks as well. you've got to try to sort of attack from a direction that he isn't defending, or do like combo attack, like one side and then. See, his mates come now. It's a bit more tricky when you get two people. You can't. Oh, here comes a third as well, so even more tricky.
Oh dear. Does that hurt?
It's kind of even more important.
Bring it on!
To try and
rage on someone.
circle around
What's the matter? Come on.
and keep one person in front. Well, try to keep them all in front of you. You kind of just back off. But you've got to really watch your stamina when you're in a situation like this, because you can quite easily lose all your stamina and then start taking actual health damage.
I'll slaughter you.
So you can see his health is the purple bar there, so I've not done much damage to him, but sometimes you just have to batter them for a bit.
Bollocks!
Because they've got stamina as well. Oh, see, I took a heavy beating there. That was from another. That was from him, I think. So I might try fighting this one for a bit, because he looks like he might be a little bit. But he's still got plate armor like the other guy. But
Is that the
You get what for?
Your breath stinks.
Yeah. Fuck it.
so you do end up taking. I mean, the combat isn't quick. It isn't fast-paced combat.
Got weak at the knees, have you?
At least I haven't found a way of like killing people quickly. Anyway, it's
What's the
always.
matter? Come on.
What's going on there? Who's that? You'll pay for that.
Oh, see, that took a little bit of
I'm
health
going
damage
to
there.
enjoy
my,
this.
my stamina went all the way down.
You're dead.
You just gotta find a way. Oh man, I'm taking the heavy damage now. See, that's what happens when your stamina goes all the way down. I mean, it's not easy to combat it, even after all this time. I've not found an easy way to do it. There's no simple way you can fall back on. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and this will kill him. Like,
Is that all you got?
I'll fucking kill you.
You're going to cry now.
they seem to do as many like blocks and stuff as you can.
This.
Especially when you're outnumbered and especially when the... Oh, see, that's it, I'm dead. I'm fucked. So I'm gonna have to be... That's why I saved before combat, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. Like, you just can't kill one quickly. So we'll load in again. Where was that? Oh, I think it'll just load that last save anyway. Yeah, that's the one. So we'll load in again and see if sometimes you just get it. You just do a few hits and you just get them. But I've not got to this stage where I know that what I'm doing. There are combos you can do, but it seems to be really hard to pull them off. You seem to get interrupted by them really, really easily. So what direction was it? I can't remember now. Was it this way? Yeah, there it was. So again, let's try again and see. Now there's always the option, if you're playing a more stealthy game, to wait until nighttime and try and sneak up to the camp and either slit their throats while they're sleeping, which you can do. Stealth kills are a thing. If you've got a dagger, you can just sneak up and stealth kill them. And if you wake them up after that, then at least you'll have narrowed the numbers. But to do that, like, you'd have to wait until nightfall. And to sneak best, you can't be wearing like all the big plate armor that I'm wearing. That makes too much noise. So if you want to be sneaky, so they've noticed me. If you want to be sneaky, you've got to go to light armor. And of course that's going to be fine if you can get the kill when you're stealthy, but not so good if you have to actually get into combat. See there, they all are in the camp. I don't want to take the whole camp. Like, fighting those 3 was probably enough that I don't want to do any more than 3. So you might have to be a bit patient.
What's going on there? Who's
Alright,
there?
here comes someone, here comes someone.
Huh. Well now, look what's come.
See, look where that went.
from under some-
You just can't tell where the arrow's going to go, really.
To arms!
Oh, he's an archer. He's an archer himself. It's usually best going for the archers first, because they're usually a...
Praise the... Got weak at the knees, have
Yeah,
you?
see, he went down very quickly.
Bring it on. Give it a try now.
Right, again, we've got 3.
Is that the best you can do?
Alright, let's...
Over here! Where is everyone?
Oh, I see, I don't want a
down
fourth
with
one
you.
to join the party. So the last thing I want is a 4th one.
I'm going to enjoy this. Raise the alarm! Watch out!
Ah! Kurva!
Come on! Yeah!
See, it's
Cunt!
very difficult once you've got more than
I'll
one.
slaughter you!
Oh no, not another
Who's
one.
there? What have you got here? Entertainment? Great.
Got to find a way to
fooling
sort of
around.
to kill one. Ah. There's always one that's the camp, the leader, who's tougher than the rest. He's usually the one in the
Bollocks!
biggest,
Get what for?
most impressive looking armor.
God damn!
You really do have to make sure you watch the stamina, because you really only have enough opportunity to do like 1 or 2 hits, because you need your stamina to block as well.
I'll slaughter you!
It's tempting, like
Dopice!
once you get 1 good hit, to try and keep
Is that
on
the best you can do?
hitting, but that's just going to burn your stamina, and
What's the matter? Come on! Bugger!
not leave you any stamina left to block.
You.
Whoa, Jesus! I got a bit stuck there.
Bring it up!
Oh, See, look at that. He just got me and no stamina
Is that
left.
all you've got?
See, look, that's bad. I got in a position. I was hitting him. I thought, oh, I got greedy. See, there's still someone firing
Come
arrows
here,
at me.
lily liver.
See, it's a bit glitchy there.
I'll slaughter you. Fuck it.
Yeah, there's still one firing arrows.
The knees, have you?
If I keep them between me and the archer, then I might just. See, I ran out of stamina there. Took too many hits.
Lost your wind. You all get the fall.
See, and of course, as the more hits you take, your max stamina goes down as well.
Quit it.
So you just haven't found a knack for how to get through. What? Alright, that's one down. I'm sure there is a way, like you'll notice.
Best you can do.
I want to get this archer without getting fucking hit by the rest of them.
This. Wrong place at the wrong time. Give up.
So this archer should be a bit more mincy than the rest of them. They usually are. I think some others have turned up though. Oh, that's gonna be dead. Oh, see, let myself lose too much stamina. Got too greedy again. But look, I'm fighting 4 here now. I mean, this is a problem. You've got no answer to fighting multiple opponents. You really, you just can't kill anyone quickly. There is no way to kill like guys of that level. No way to kill anyone quickly. It's going to take you a while to kill every opponent, and if you can't keep the numbers down, then you're going to have masses of trouble. And I often have to fight like this several times until you just manage to get it so you just pull 2, 3 of them and you can kill one before any of the others. But eventually, like, they all turn up. It seems like it doesn't seem like there's any way just to pull 1, 2. As soon as you pull 1, he starts shouting.
What are you doing here?
And they all turn up. Alright, that's 1 dead with 2 arrows. That's not bad.
Hey, all of you! Gather here! Raise the alarm! I'll strike the house. To arms! Get over here!
See if I can do a few more with the bow first.
You're...
You call that combat?
Have I run out of arrows? Oh yes, I've run out of arrows. I only had these a few arrows in. Okay.
What's the matter? Come on.
Is that the best you can do?
To hell with you.
This isn't going too bad.
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
I've never really tried this like bow tactic before.
Is that all you've got?
See, he actually ran slower there when after I shot him in the leg. So there you go. That wasn't too bad. Just backing off shooting him, and now I can probably take melee. Now this is where you make your money. That hat's worth 400. I'm not going to take these because I'm not going to carry on with this save, but this is where you make your money. That chainmail's worth 500. No, that's not how much you get when you sell it, but you get usually about a third to half of what what the price is here. This is its full like retail price. Obviously the vendor, depending on what vendor you're selling it to, and what your reputation and that is with them. But yeah, this is how you make your money. Just grab this armor. You can transfer anything you can't carry. You can transfer to your horse. Your horse can carry quite a bit. So yeah, just grab everything you can, put it in your horse, and then next time you're in town, sell it to the relevant vendors. Yeah, he's got a bandit here. Money. Yeah, again, these pauldrons are worth 588. None of these, like the quest here is you have to kill the bandit leader. So that went fairly well. A bit of a bow action there. Backing off. There's a hare that you can do hunting. You can kill hares for meat, and obviously all the time you shoot arrows as well, you level up your bow. So always worth it. Everything you do with your sword, you level up your sword. So what's left in here? Not to the... there's still a little bit of a camp down there. How many have we got? How many? I'm sure I saw one sitting down there. We must... there's still two there, look. Yeah, see that hit him, that's good.
Over here! Where is everyone? Ah! Quick! To arms! Get over here!
You just have to like aim.
Is that all you've got? That's gonna cost you your life.
Oh, that's why the knackers look.
Come here, lily liver. Ah!
This is actually quite a bit easier. Well, that's thinned out the numbers. Is this the bandit leader? No, that was just a regular bandit. But they see his helmet's worth 1.2k, his chasseurs are worth 900, so yeah, that's the money. You can also get your arrows back as well.
Hey, who's there?
So...
Who's there?
So yeah, go reach the new level in... New level in, but there's still 3, look. So I'm definitely going to thin the...
To arms! Get over here!
Thin the herd a bit
Come
more
here,
with,
lily liver.
with arrows.
You call that combat?
Thin the herd with arrows before... Oh, that was the camp leader. Yeah, you can say that he's got the good looking armour. And heavy shield. I don't think I've seen one of those. What does he... Metal plated axe. See, look at his stuff. That's his spurs. Oh, someone's shooting at me. Okay. Let's do melee combat in this guy. As soon as he's a bit more a bit more of a mincer. And one guy. Melee combat 1-on-1 isn't usually a problem.
Yeah!
You just time your blocks, time your strikes. Don't get too greedy. Try and pull off a combo or two. If you get low on stamina, pull back. Let yourself regen.
Over here! Where is everyone? on, quick!
So there's still definitely someone else around because I can hear that guy shouting.
Is that all you...
Tom, get over here!
Oh, he's trying to go for the bow again. This is usually when you can...
Stop, hear me?
Sometimes they try and surrender, but I don't usually have any of that. Oh, still being shot. Wait, here we are, another guy. Right, if you want to get a long combo off, you can need full stamina. I usually forget the combos. There's 3 and 4 hit combos. And I find you very rarely pull them off because you usually get interrupted or he dodges.
Here!
It's one thing as well is the environment also stops you from like if you could buy the trigger, you see the 2 left hand arrows there are greyed out because I can't swing from the left because the tree's in the way. So that makes a difference. The environment can block the way you can swing, but it'll also block the way your enemies can swing as well. I remember one fight I was in, I was fighting like 4. And I got them in this real narrow corridor. And they could only like get at me, and they could only they couldn't swing left and right. They could only do like overhand swings. He seems to be better at sword fighting than he was with his bow. See how he's like almost he's blocking everything really. See, I've hardly hit him. So you've got to find a way through his guard, you know? I mean, I think, you know, the way to do it, and I haven't looked into it enough to know, but like you've got to look at the way he's holding his sword to try and like guess what direction he's going to attack you. So he's holding his sword down low like that. Means he's going to attack low, and that means as he attacks, you should be able to do a strike to come in from where the direction that's going to be open after he's started his swing. I think that's the technique. That's what you're supposed to be looking for.
God!
So that was a good hit on him. Again, you can't be too greedy.
Fucking come on then!
You gotta let your stamina get up. All this is good for leveling up anyway, look. But it also takes durability off your armour, your sword, everything.
Herrgott!
See, that was a good crack. That got through. Unfortunately, I like don't know the reason really why that got through. If I could replicate that, I would. I mean,
All
see that's a perk I got, a head cracker. That's like gives me a 10% chance of knocking him out with a headshot. And there's the coup de grace. Alright, take his ear. Again, you'd loot, you know, all the valuable stuff. But yeah, so that's that. Bit of combat. Now, the turn-in for that. Oh, I've got to collect. He's still on the. I thought I got his spurs, the camp leader. No, I didn't. Oh, that's right. I was being shot when he. See, look, it's 2k. His helmet's worth. Yeah, that's good money. And it might actually be better than the helmet I'm currently wearing. Compare. His helmet is, yes, no, not, well, it's 23 defense total. Helmet I'm wearing is 22. But due to its durability, you see it's got some minuses, so it's currently not at 23. So yeah, be careful, because like it says here, if I equip it, you think, oh no, that's worse. Well, it's worse because it's taken damage because of the durability. And if it was at full durability, it would be 23, 23, 9, which is better than the one I've got, 22, 22, 9. So that is a replacement, is a good replacement, well, a slight upgrade replacement for my helmet. So, got his spurs. That's where you turn it in. Well, there is where you turn it in. There's the fast travel point. We'll fast travel there. It's going to be night time by the time we get there. Sometimes at night time people won't get up. Like NPCs, they'll be asleep and you try and wake them up and they'll say, oh, let me sleep. And you have to just wait until morning. Wait until they're up and then talk to them. But this is one of the recurring quests anyway. There's various different levels of these. You start off being told to clear bandit camps out quite early in the game, and then you do a few for one quest giver and he sends you to another. You do a few for him and he sends you to another, and they get progressively harder as you go along. But they're a good way to practice combat. They're a good way to get equipment, both to wear, to use and to sell. And because like the combat in the game is, you know, it is fairly sparse, like combat in the quests. It's not, I'd say it's not an action-packed RPG. There are some like big battles which are really good, but like in say Skyrim, for instance, if you were tired of talking, like you'd been doing a lot of talking and that kind of thing, and you were a bit tired of that, will he wake up? Yes, he will. You can always find a dungeon and go in a dungeon.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
See, he's all very nice to me. He treats me like shit if I was wearing crappy clothes. So,
I've taken care of that camp.
dealt with the camp,
Oh, yes? And what proof might you have of that?
Here it is.
give him the spurs,
Well, there we are.
get the money.
One less thing to worry about. Here's your reward. It looks like your job is done.
Okay.
We don't know of any other camps, so let's hope we'll have some peace for a while.
Very well.
What are you loitering around here for? You did your job, you got your money. What more could you want?
Well, some thanks wouldn't go amiss.
I've thanked you enough, with money.
Uh,
But if you want someone to embrace you and sing your praises, go to the local baths. They know all about that sort of thing. Now be off with you. I
See?
still have things I need to do.
now,
I have some.
you hand
well,
over the
Let's
ears.
have them. There are plenty of them.
The ears are worth money as well. So there you go.
Hey, what? Damn.
Alright, so that's that bit of combat, just to show you there. Like I say, combat is difficult, and it's something you have to practice, and like even at this stage of the game, I'm not 100%, or not even close to 100% to knowing or getting like totally the hang of it. So that's pretty much everything you need to see. Like I say, it's a slow-paced game. There's a lot of talking and a lot of history. If you are a history buff and you do like this period, and you're into sort of medieval history, medieval martial arts, anything like that, this is probably the closest game, the most authentic game, most close game that's closest to the way that combat was actually done back then that has ever been. I mean, it's way closer than like a For Honor or any other sort of melee-based combat game. But the historical detail and accuracy is off the charts in this game, and it is. You've got a codex of all the general. You know, if you want to sit and read this stuff, there's hours and hours of stuff reading on all different aspects of medieval, like all the different cities, villages, the events that start off. Like the beginning of the game, it's Charles IV of Bohemia, the previous Holy Roman Emperor, has died, left his kingdom to Wenceslas IV, who's a bit of a feckless drunkard. He sort of gets abducted, and his brother Sigismund takes over, and that's sort of created a lot of unrest in the region. You can read all about that, all about different aspects of society. The characters are all genuine historical characters. Most of the main characters you come up against all actually lived. So yeah, the historical accuracy is amazing. Sometimes that makes it not such a good game. It makes it a little bit slow, but I'd say it's still worth playing. Definitely worth playing. There are a couple of really bad bits, I will say that. A couple of just sections that could easily. I would love to just cut it out of the game, get rid of it. I was thoroughly had enough of those sections by the time I was done with them. But I think all games have those really. So yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance. There's been a big patch since it was released, like a 5.5 gig patch that they said fixed 300 bugs. So that's good now. If you're looking to buy it now, that's a lot of things should be fixed, and a lot of things should be better on it. And I'd definitely recommend it if you want a sort of slow-paced, very authentic medieval RPG that you're going to be playing slowly for a long time. I mean, I finished the main story now, 80 hours in, and the main story's finished. That's a lot of gameplay, and there's still like lots of side quests and things like I can be doing if I want to be totally completionist on it. So a lot of value, but it is slow. It is very hard to learn. The combat is hard to learn, and it's not like a hack and slash game like a lot of RPGs, or even as much as Skyrim is. And of course, there's no magic or anything like that. So there's no class system really. You are a human, and you pretty much will be doing everything with either a sword, an axe, or a mace, and a bow. And really, your choices are whether you want to wear heavy armor, try and do things stealthily. But I think pretty much in the end, you will always be going for in big combat situations like that. You'll always want to be wearing as much armor as you can and using as big a sword as you can, because the options for stealth are fairly limited, but they are there and you can do a bit. So it's what was its full price? $34.99, I think, if I remember rightly. Let's bring up Steam, have a look, store page. $39.99, so standard price for a full price PC game. I'd say it's well worth that if you want to play it for that long. If you think, oh yeah, I'm gonna invest into this. See, yeah, 81.1 hours for me. That's well worth it. If you think you might want to invest that sort of amount of time into it as well, then definitely pick it up. If you just want to try it and you're not sure, then you're going to want to wait for a sale, I'd say. But it's a really good, slow-paced, massively accurate and authentic medieval RPG. It's a history lesson, a history lesson wrapped around a game. So that's my take on Kingdom Come Deliverance.